Ever since smartphones turned every living human into a content creator, a new monopoly has quietly taken over. Whether you're posting cringy photos online or recording your next viral video that no one watches, you're probably using Adobe's products. They've cemented a monopoly so absolute that it feels like a competitor could invent something better and still not put a dent in their empire. Before 2013, Adobe sold something called the Creative Suite. It was a collection of their best software, and you bought it once. Prices ranged from $1,300 to $2,600, but after that single payment, the software was yours forever. But then, in 2013, everything changed. Adobe introduced a new subscription model, the Creative Cloud. Suddenly, you could get access to all their software for what seemed like a small fee of just $30 a month. It looked like a great deal. Fast forward to today, in 2025, and that fee has ballooned from $30 to $105 a month. Creators, big and small, are angry, and yet Adobe has them caught so perfectly in its ecosystem that walking away isn't an option. And with this power, Adobe's greed has grown to the point where they've started using shockingly unethical tactics to squeeze money out of their users. Take their cancellation policy. You'd think you could just stop paying, but Adobe charges a cancellation fee, sometimes as high as 50% of your remaining subscription. In some cases, that fee can run into hundreds of dollars. This is a deliberate trap. Let's say you're taking a few months off. You think, I'll just cancel for a bit and resubscribe later. But when you see that massive cancellation fee, you realize it's cheaper to just keep paying for something you're not even using. It's the same story with Adobe stock, where users report being slapped with hundreds of dollars in fees for trying to leave. For a company this massive, these cheap tactics are just pathetic. And don't think they're only targeting professionals. Adobe isn't sparing the students either. The forums are filled with complaints from students who signed up for a discounted plan, only to be hit with a cancellation fee of over $120 after a single month. Another student on a discounted yearly plan found that Adobe had charged them the full, undiscounted price for the next year before the renewal date. And if you ever have a problem, good luck with customer service. First, you'll wait 10 to 20 minutes just to connect. Then, the agent will likely end the chat midway through. If they can't solve your problem, you get the classic, "I'll talk to my senior and get back to you" line, and then radio silence. You'll call back, get a new agent, and repeat the same cycle for days. If you have a software issue, their brilliant solution is either reinstall Creative Cloud or, my personal favorite, just reinstall Windows. They won't even try to find the underlying issue. Most of the time, you're forced to wait until another user in the community figures out a solution and posts it online. One user on Reddit shared a story. Once I spent 4 full days on the phone with support being bounced around to different departments before someone figured out the problem, and I needed to change something in the registry to fix it. So, after all that, the big question is, why don't people just leave? The simple answer, they can't. And Adobe knows it. Whether it's photo editing, video editing, audio, or motion graphic, Adobe has become the industry standard. Even though Adobe itself doesn't seem interested in solving user problems, its community is so massive that for any bug you encounter, someone has likely already found a fix and shared it online. And for any feature that Adobe software is missing, there's a plugin for that. There are millions of plugins available. Take Adobe Premiere Pro. It has far fewer built-in transitions and effects than smaller competitors like CapCut or Filmora, whose interfaces are also more modern and beautiful. But the Premiere Pro community is so huge that any effect, transition, or template you could ever need is available from a third-party website, either for a price or sometimes for free. But the real killer is the client demand. Clients require project files to be in Adobe formats. This creates a feedback loop where newcomers only learn Adobe software. For those already in the ecosystem, the switching cost is massive. You'd have to learn a new tool, change your entire workflow, and spend countless hours debugging new issues, all while knowing that a crucial feature or plugin might not even exist on the other side. Even those who try to escape the ecosystem usually come crawling back. Adobe knows this, and that's why they don't hesitate to exploit their customers. In Filmora or CapCut, you can edit and export your video with a watermark for free. But with Adobe, the moment your subscription ends, you can't even open the program. Your access is completely cut off. This monopoly has made Adobe lazy. They don't have to innovate anymore. You can see it on their own forums, where users can suggest ideas for new features. Many of these ideas, if implemented, would save users countless hours and make the software much easier to use. One user even built an entire dedicated website detailing hundreds of ideas to improve After Effects, complete with UI mockups and video demonstrations. He documented everything, essentially handing Adobe a roadmap for a better product. It's clear this user spent months, if not years, brainstorming these improvements. That was 5 years ago. If you sort the ideas on Adobe's forum by upvotes, his suggestions are on the very first page. The entire community loves them, yet Adobe's team hasn't implemented a single one. Their focus isn't on innovation, it's on their customers' pockets, and this has come at a cost. Adobe's reputation is in tatters. They don't have loyal customers, they have hostages. And now, this refusal to innovate is causing them to fall behind in the AI race that matters most. A few months ago, Google launched VO3, an AI model that can create videos complete with voice and sound effects. It's the current state of the art. Now, a few days ago, Google launched Nano Banana, arguably the best AI image editing model ever created. The world and its investors expected Adobe to be the leader here. They've dominated the creative market for 3 decades, but they failed. Adobe's Firefly and its other AI tools are so far behind in the AI race, it looks like they've already lost. They can't compete with Google, OpenAI, and the rising Chinese AI companies. And investors are finally starting to notice. The result? Adobe's stock has been in free fall for a year. In July 2024, a share was worth $557. By July 2025, it had plummeted to just $371. That's a drop of over 33% in a single year. You could say karma is finally catching up to them. Their strategy for innovation has become simple. If you can't build it, buy it. In September 2022, Adobe tried to acquire its leading competitor, Figma, for $20 billion. If the deal had gone through, their monopoly would have become even stronger, a disaster for customers and innovation. But regulators in the UK and EU blocked the deal. And, to add insult to injury, Adobe was forced to pay Figma a $1 billion reverse termination fee. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Adobe made its biggest mistake yet, one that revealed its dark side to even its most loyal users. In early 2024, Adobe updated the terms of service for its Creative Cloud, sparking the biggest controversy in its history. The problem was in Section 4.2, which read, "You grant us a non-exclusive, worldwide, royalty-free, sublicensable license to use, reproduce, publicly display, distribute, modify, create derivative works based on, publicly perform, and translate the content." In simple terms, whatever you create using Adobe software, Adobe now had the right to take it, use it, sell it, or display it however they wanted. They essentially owned your work. Internet personality Sasha Yanshin announced on X that he was canceling his subscription over the new terms. The tweet went viral, gaining 19 million views, and even a reply from Elon Musk. The public pressure was so immense that Adobe was forced to update its terms again. But the question remains, what did Adobe want with everyone's content? While only they know for sure, the most likely theory is that they wanted to use your work to train their AI models. A plan that, thanks to the backlash, they couldn't get away with. Sometimes, something built with a tiny budget by a single person can take down a giant. That's exactly what happened with the game Schedule 1, which was made by just one developer and is now outselling games from giants like Ubisoft. To see that full story, click the video right here. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.